Okay, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity, and I'm discussing a very important and upcoming topic of pachychoroid because this is a new topic and this actually changes our outlook to the diseases which we have been studying for so many years now. So basically, what is pachychoroid and what is the literal meaning of the term is it's a thickening. Pachy means thickened, and what we are dealing here is basically subfoveal choroid is basically thickened. Normally, it should be about 260 to 300 microns in thickness, but what has it? It is it is increased in thickness. The spectrum of diseases, the pachychoroid spectrum of disease basically consists of these entities, four entities, and they are basically in chronological orders. First being pachychoroid pigment epitheliopathy, followed by CSR. Next is the CNVM, or we call it as a pachychoroid neovasculopathy, and the entity which is IPCV, which we were saying so far for so many years, but is basically the polypoidal choroidal vasculopathy, is forms all part of the spectrum, and how we'll see now in the next few slides. The newer entities have been added recently, which is focal choroidal excavation and peripapillary pachychoroid syndrome, which is peripapillary thickening of the choroid, less thickening at the fovea, but more thickening at the uh, peripapillary area. So the earliest stage of the disease, which is the pigment epitheliopathy, is the stage where, can I have the pointer, please? Okay. So the stage where you just have the RPE loss here, but with absence of any subretinal fluid is the stage. It is important to recognize this stage because this is a kind of a former fruste to CSR stage. And once if you recognize this stage, it is easy for us to monitor the patients more closely and treat them at the earliest. You see on OCT, SD-OCT, you have dilated choroidal vessels. Now we see the characteristics subsequently. Uh, the stage of CSR is important to recognize again, which we see commonly in our practice, is the stage when you have the dilated choroidal vessels here along with the subretinal fluid. This is stage when we must distinguish presence of any CNVM here or not, because at this stage it is possible that this stage progresses to either neovasculopathy or a polypoidal choroidal vasculopathy, because accordingly our management changes drastically. This is not the conventional treatment of CSR which going to we do here if we find these findings here. Uh, Etiology is basically of this fluid is the dilated and hyperpermeable choriocapillaries, the medium-sized vessels which leak and form this CSR. So when do we suspect a CNVM? So this is the prime question here. If you see a patient of CSR, so look for the EDI OCT findings that you have the dilated choroidal vessels, loss of RPE layer. Then important is compression of the choriocapillaries. If you can see here, just below the area of PED, or the next which I'm going to describe is the double layer sign, you have a area of compression of the choriocapillaries. So double layer sign is an important finding which is needed to be recognized on OCT. You have two separate layers, separation of the two layers of the RPE. The inner layer is the hyperreflective RPE and the outer layer is the Brooks membrane. And the material which is filled inside is more important, because if it is a hyperreflective material, it probably is a CNVM. And this is the one thing which we must look for in OCTs in a patient of CSR. To confirm these things, what we do is, once we have the suspicion of pachychoroid biomarkers, what we do to confirm is ICG angiography, if we have access to it. And nowadays, more commonly, we have OCTA angiography. And with the advent of OCTA, the presence of CNVMs in these CRSR patients have really increased. FA is not the mode of diagnosis for these CNVMs in these patients. So the OCTA shows these kinds of pictures. You see typical BVNs, branching vascular networks, and there are different type of BVNs you can actually distinguish nowadays on OCT. One of the talks was there earlier today, that if you have regressing or an active CNVMs. So one case I just want to discuss briefly. This was a patient, 46 years male with 618 vision at presentation, but when we observed him for CSR for almost 6 months and even more, he had a non-resolving and recurring CSR. So on FA, you see there was multifocal leakages on FA, along with some window defects from the RPE defects, but you cannot see any CNVM here on FA. And the role of OCT, simple OCT comes here, the EDI OCT, then you can actually see certain biomarkers like the double layer sign, and you see hyperreflective material inside here. Along with the thickened choroid, you can see dilated vessels here, dilated medium-sized choroidal vessels here. You can be see, and compression of the choriocapillaries, the double layer sign here, and this is kind of a which we call as a fibrinous CSR, which is a new term now, is fibrinous CSR. The OCTA confirms the presence of BVN, and on subsequent injections with anti-VEGFs, you actually see the disappearance of the fibrin membrane here. You see the decreasing the thickness of the double layer sign here. Another section just below the fovea, you see the improvement of double layer sign. So these are the monitoring signs which we can look for to see the progression of the diseases. So I basically conclude that pachychoroid spectrum of diseases is an important entity which we must recognize now at the earliest stage. The CSR and PCV is an important part of the spectrum, and it is important to recognize these stages at the correct stage. Patients of CSR, if you find with persistent subretinal fluid for more than 6 months or this thing, you must look for an underlying CNVM. This is very important because there's no point in treating CSR if you just miss out the CNVM. Especially see the OCT B scans to look for certain signs like RP degenerations and the double layer sign. Compression of the choriocapillaries, and once you see these signs, you can send the patients for OCT or ICG angiography to confirm the finding of CNVMs. And if you have the findings of CNVM, please treat them accordingly with anti-VEGFs and PDT. And nowadays, what we're doing is preferred is combine PDT and anti-VEGFs to treat these patients, and they respond beautifully, and you save the vision of these patients at the earliest. Thanks.